Hello and welcome to another Fox vlog. I'm Kel E. Fox, author and artist, and I am progressing. There's been an issue. So Whispers is a trilogy. It has a prequel novella, which was supposed to be a short story. I don't know if you can hear the ice cream truck going on in the background. It's quite annoying. Supposed to be a 5,000 word short story, and I kind of planned it out with a bit of a plot. Went, okay, simple, 2 characters, 1 storyline, easy. It's 30,000 words. It has romance, subplot. It has a increasingly complex mystery to solve involving a kidnapping, which was not planned at all. And then the 3 books were supposed to be relatively short novels, like novels, but not super long, like doorstopper fantasy tomes, because this was meant to be a fairly sweet, light, pretty, whimsical, romantic gaslamp fantasy. And it is whimsical, and it is romantic, and it is gaslamp. It is not especially light anymore. It is not especially, what did I say? Pretty? It is pretty. The city is very pretty. The setting is pretty. But the books are not as short as I had planned. I think we all knew that the books were not going to be quite as short as I had planned. And that's fine. I set a word count that I was aiming for, and it went over. That's all right. But book 3 went twice as long as it should have, rather than the 20 to 30%, which I would have been perfectly happy with. And now I'm feeling, which I felt the whole time I was writing it, and I denied. I said, no, this is supposed to be a trilogy. Bad enough it has a whole prequel novella. Yeah, you can see where this is going. Book 3 is going to be 2 books, because it's twice as long as it should be. So I will cut it in half, and then it will still expand a little bit, but just enough to keep up with the other 2 books, hopefully. And there will be 4 books, all roughly the same length, which will be good for illustration purposes, because trying to illustrate a book that is twice as long as the previous 2 and make that all fit into the same kind of timeline and publishing parameters is going to be hard. It's 4 books, I think. I will now attempt to continue the edits, which have been challenging, with the idea that this will get split in half, and see if that sits a little better with me. So that's Whisperers. After going through all of that angst and debacle, I am now thoroughly in the mood for writing more of the gender-swapped dark fantasy Phantom of the Opera retelling, which is on my mind. So maybe I'll dig into that. But I also really want to get this review of Whisperers done and the plot kind of happy. Like, it's close, it's there, but it's not completely there. Illustrations are progressing as well. I have nearly finished another one, which is Dell painting in his studio. The studio was meant to be rather more messy than it turned out, but painting a mess on purpose is not that easy. So without it just deteriorating into chaos. Maybe I should just go with the chaos. Everything else is chaos. I was also given occasion recently to try an exercise that I have not tried before, really. It's about point of view and perspective, and changing the way you tell a story, the same story. So take a scene, the prompt was take a scene that you've already written in a particular point of view, especially one that you feel like could be more interesting for exploring other ways of telling it, and then rewrite it either in a different perspective, like from a different character's point of view, or from a different tense, or just change something about the way the story is told. So I had a go at this with a scene that precedes the Whisperers trilogy. Dell, one of the main characters, actually references this moment a couple of times, and I really expected, when someone in a book kind of hints at this thing that's happened in the past, you expect at some point you're going to get kind of a flashback or some glimpse into what that was in the past. And I expected that to come up in this book, but it really didn't. And it's just this little enigmatic moment in the history between this main character and his ex. I wrote it out anyway because I wanted to know what had happened. I feel like it's important, for me at least as an author, to know some of what's gone on in the background of these characters' lives, and what went between them at this point in time seemed to be important. So I wrote it from Dell's point of view. That was cool. That was fun. Then I was given this prompt, and I went, well, this might be a good scene to work on with it. I tried it in an omniscient point of view, which I don't usually do. I feel like omniscient, it can be really powerful when used in the right place. So omniscient being when you're not in any particular character's head, you're just kind of an observer, an omniscient god almost. You're just watching everything unfold. That can be really powerful, especially when it's used for satire or parody. But when in these kinds of super emotional stories or scenes like this one is, it felt a little bit too detached. It opened well, but then it felt like it really wanted to zoom in a little bit and get closer to someone's point of view. So I wrote it from the ex's point of view because he shows up partway through the scene, or early in the scene rather, and quite an emotional moment between the two of them. They're sort of in their post-breakup kind of funk. I also tried it in present tense, which I have not written in before. I don't think I have. I maybe have done it for some exercise somewhere, but certainly never for an extended scene like this. And that was interesting. I liked it. Anyway, the scene came out well. I don't know if you could read it without having the background of Whisperers. But I will read the first paragraph for you. And if you like it, you can actually read the whole thing, story. It's a short story. It is like, I don't know how many pages it would be in a book. 4 pages, maybe. It's not very long. Amazing that I managed to keep it so short. It does not stand on its own. So I think possibly without having read at least the first book in the Whisperers, which you can't have read unless you are one of my top tier subscribers on Ream, it might not work, but it might work. I don't know. I will read you the first paragraph and you can decide. If you like it, you can go and read the whole thing. All you need to do is follow me on Ream, which basically means putting your email address in. And I don't email Ream as often as I email my Substack.
I don't think you ever stop loving a person. You give a piece of your heart to them, and you never get that back. The only question is whether the love outweighs the pain when things go badly. How many pieces of hearts do I hold now? More than I have people I love. There's a place in a cruci, a garden, of course it's a garden, where you can drop a token of your lost love into a well, and the pieces of your hearts will make new tiles on the garden wall mosaic, a picture of a cruci's love. The mosaic does change by some inexplicable magic. Whether it's love or not, I couldn't say. I suppose I hold what's left of my own heart, too. How I'm supposed to reconcile that with everything I've done, I don't know. Nor do I know what that would look like on the mosaic wall, were I to drop my own name into the well of lost hearts. But this isn't about me.
So that's that. That's the first. I have shut the curtain. The lights changed because the ice cream truck was on our street. Brilliant. That's the first opening sort of passage of it. If you're interested, you can go and read the rest. I'll put the link in the description. So that's what I've been busy doing, writing scenes that won't go in the book and editing and realizing that I've actually written 4 books, not 3, and working on the art. I will put it up here. At some point I will start sharing the illustrations on socials. I'm not sure where I'm going to do that yet. So when I figure that out, I will tell you. And I think that's it. This has been a chaotic vlog because I'm in a bit of a strange space in terms of having my mind kind of being pulled in different directions at the moment. Like taffy. Unlike taffy, I don't think it's improved for the experience. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoy these random author vlogs and hearing a little bit about the process. I think in today's world of emerging technologies, sharing the process as an artist is more and more important. And I always like it when I get an insight into other people's work. So that's why I'm here. I hope you enjoy Santo's story if you go and read it. And if you're interested in my other works, I have my YA urban science-ish fantasy that eventually turns into a queer magical space opera saga. First book of that is Darkhaven. I'll put a link to that below as well if you want to go and check it out. Thank you for watching. Bye.